Ryan Poles is never not working, and this past weekend, we got to see him at work in the Alabama versus Georgia game where the nation's top two interior guards faced off against each other. And the best part about it, they're both projected early second-round picks, which the Bears have at the moment, and they can focus on left tackle in the first round. Poles has been putting in work, and I'm excited to break down the two guys he scouted. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Before we get into today's show, hit that like button if you want the Chicago Bears to go all in on offensive line with their early picks in the 25 draft, along with commenting which offensive line in college right now you want the Chicago Bears to bring in. And please subscribe to the channel for all Chicago Bears news and notifications. Help us hit our goal of 18,750 before kickoff during week 5. All right, let's jump into it. The number one guard in the nation at the moment is a part of Alabama, and his name is Tyler Booker, a place where always top offensive linemen come out of. Already off to a great start, and the Bears need a guard. Well, we got the picks for it, and he's a left guard too on top of it, which would allow Teven Jenkins to go back to right guard if we decide to keep him, which is where he plays best. Booker stands at 6'5", 325 pounds, a big yet athletic frame that Ryan Poles likes to look for, and is only 21 years old, a young guy that would have a big career ahead of him and 1 year extra early on in his 20s. His grades at the moment are fantastic. Like I said earlier, the number one interior guard in the NCAA right now and after that Alabama-Georgia game. NFL Draft Buzz gave him an 85.5 grade, which I absolutely love, because his pass blocking is 79 out of 100 and run blocking 73 out of 100, a total package. He's a projected early second pick at pick number 37, which the Bears currently have the 34th pick thanks to Carolina. This is just great news overall because it allows the Bears to focus on left tackle, which we absolutely need to replace Braxton Jones. I'll get to that in a second. But in the first round of the draft, which is obviously big. I'm sorry, I cannot deal with Braxton Jones anymore. He is mid at best. I'm tired of people saying that he's a good left tackle. I mean, he's our best graded offensive lineman, but our offensive line stinks right now. Get rid of him, get the best talent possible. Maybe even Karan Amagaji could take over, or you put Karan at a different guard position. It doesn't matter, but we need to address left tackle, and that needs to be in the first round. Going out and getting Tyler Booker and becoming our new left guard would absolutely be fantastic. He's the number one in the nation, and his stats show for it. This year alone, he has only allowed 1 sack, 8 total quarterback pressures, and last year he had a 71.2 PFF grade. His PFF grade this year isn't out at the moment, but fun fact, he improved Alabama's overall running back room, not just one guy, room by a total of 10 points alone because of his run blocking skill. A solid blocker up the middle would create opportunities. $8 million man DeAndre Swift can get past everybody, and just a solid player. Not only that, can also pass block, big frame, takes over a lot of space, and can help out our center. You want the best offensive line for this offense. You go out and get the absolute best. And he reminds me a lot of Trey Smith, who is a huge interior offensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs at the moment, which clearly helps him out, and that's why he's so good, and which I've wanted to trade for him multiple times. But you go out and get your drafted guy. Great length, great strength, and vision makes him so valuable on that offensive line. Then the second guy I'm going to talk about today that plays for Georgia and is the number 2 guard who plays right guard in the NCAA is Tate Ratlege out of Georgia. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like he played for the Bears in the 80s with that awesome mullet, and he's just a rock star on the field. Went to Georgia, another top offensive lineman school, even bigger than Booker at 6'6", but slightly less at 320. Bigger, slimmer, and faster than Booker, but he is 22 years old, so you lose that year, but it doesn't matter. This guy is still super young and a very talented interior offensive lineman. He's the second-ranked interior offensive lineman at the moment, but also the number 1 right guard, so you get to take over for Nate Davis. He also got an 85.5 NFL Draft Buzz grade, a 95 out of 100 pass blocking grade, and 78 out of 100 run blocking grade. Draft projection, 1 spot later than Booker at 38, so an early second-round pick. But again, I love it because he's a top guy, gives you more chance to potentially land the interior guard that you need, and that's just in case Booker or someone else is off the board. But I would love this guy to be a part of the Chicago Bears. Scored a 79.2 PFF grade so far this season with 0 sacks allowed, 0 quarterback pressures, and at all in 101 snaps. Pretty darn impressive for the right guard at the moment. And like that's the best part about him is that now you have a right guard that you could put in. You could go out and get Booker if you decide to use your picks correctly and draft a left guard and a right guard. You get the top two in the nation. Could you imagine if the Bears took a top left tackle in this draft, got rid of Braxton Jones? Both these guys went in with our second round pick, so ours and Carolina's. I would cry probably of happiness. On top of that, too, notice how I didn't bring in a center. Quickly, I'll get into that. Just wait. And the overall plan for this offensive line next year, I think this could work out. But before I get into this good idea about these two guys both being Chicago Bears, don't leave. But I would like to take a second to thank today's sponsor, Authentico. Happy Friday to everyone that celebrates. I think that's a little bit of everybody. But today's sponsor is Authentico Organic Tequila, made in Guadalajara, Mexico, and a Chicago-based startup company, family-owned, by the way. It is one of the only organic tequilas on the market, no additives, USDA organic approved, and it is absolutely fantastic, coming in 3 different flavors. Put it in your margarita, put it in your ranch water, or just do straight-up tequila. Smooth and delicious. Make sure you go to the link in the description now to find Authentico near you. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments. Ryan Poles needs both of these guys. And I'm going to break down an idea for you guys. The Bears have 2 second-round picks at the moment, one by the Carolina Panthers, who are going to beat this upcoming Sunday, and also the Chicago Bears, which we have a ton of draft capital after it, and we can trade up with that second-round pick in order to move up more in the second round. Here's why I want the Bears to take both of these guys. And yes, rookies, interior. Why is that a good idea, Nick? Let me break it down for you. Both these guys are the best at what they do right now. Both of them are huge, could play tackle if they wanted to. They're young, and they'll get to know Caleb Williams quickly. They're both going to be on rookie contracts for the next 4 years. You don't have to worry about paying them for a while. You have guys already on other 4-year contracts. It's just chess, not checkers. And you go out and sign a top center in free agency to teach them and hold together this offensive line. Darnell Wright is also going to be a third-year man. He's looking like he's starting to pick things up. You go out and fire awful interior offensive lineman coach Chris Morgan and pay the best offensive line coach possible. Go out and get Detroit's, give him a blank check. Kansas City's, you give him a blank check. Anybody, you go out and get those offensive line coach. And then on top of it, like I said, you get a top left tackle. You have 3 rookies on your offensive line right now, but if you get the best with a top center and Darnell Wright to teach them, this offensive line would be in fantastic shape. But these 2 guys are the best that you get, and this is what this team needs to do. They need to invest heavy in the offensive line, whether that's through free agency or to draft, and they're going to do that right here. I don't care how you do it. Get the top coach. Get these guys all together, have them on rookie contracts, protect Caleb Williams, and become the best offensive line for the next decade for the Chicago Bears. But bear down, baby. It's Friday. I know you guys are celebrating because I'm celebrating absolutely later tonight, and I want to hear what you guys and how you're doing. But please hit that like button on this video if you haven't already. Comment your thoughts on the video below, and please subscribe to the channel. Let's hit that goal of 18,750 before week 5. But with that, thank you as always for this episode of Just Another Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.